In this tutorial, we're going to have a look at how to make a basic chair using the subtraction technique in SketchUp. Okay, so we can see we have a character here. I'm in a new blank SketchUp file. So I have a character here, and he's really just for reference. We're not going to worry about making our initial chair an exact dimension, but we can use him for scale. Okay, so I'm going to start with my rectangle tool. I'm going to click in the corner and just drag out. Okay, make it approximately chair size, probably about that size. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, you can see there's my base. Now, it's called a subtraction technique because what we're going to do is we're going to get a big box. I'm going to get my push-pull tool and I'm going to make it large. Okay, so probably a chair height with a man might be that height. Okay, so I have a big box now. I'm going to take away parts, ergo subtraction, to make my chair. So I'm going to start with the bit at the top. We're going to make a backrest and a place to sit down on. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool. I'm going to start up in the corner. I'm going to click from the corner and drag down, and you can see that the part back here is going to be the base or the backrest and then the base for sitting down on. So pick a spot that you're happy with. You can always adapt it afterwards. You can see now I've added the back and the seat. And now I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to use my push-pull tool to subtract this negative. We don't need this anymore. You can see here's our basic chair shape coming together. Right? Now what I want to do is I want to make 4 legs. I'm going to start with making my legs from the front and my legs at the back. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool again. I'm going to come in here a little bit. I'm going to pick a spot. You can change this. So you don't need to be precise in this one. We're just learning some basics. I'm going to click and drag up and you can see my chair shape coming together. Now I'm going to line up with this corner here. You can see I've just paused on that corner for a second, and as I come down, it helps me stay in line with it. So that looks about right to me. I'm going to use my push-pull tool and subtraction technique again. So I'm going to subtract that part, just push it all the way back, and you can see I've now started to make my chair. All right. If you wanted to, you could even make a bench. All right? I'm just going to undo. Now, this bit is where some students get caught. Okay. What we want to do is we want to get the back into 2 legs and the front into 2 legs. So we're going to make 4 legs in total. Okay. If you come to the front and draw on the front, that's where you can have a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our orbit tool. We've learned how to use the mouse to get our orbit tool. I'm going to zoom in, use my orbit tool to orbit down so I can see this top line here. Now I'm going to use that as a guide. I'm going to click on the corner and drag down. You can see I'm creating that space that I'm going to get rid of. Right? So I'm going to get rid of this subtraction technique, remember, to make my 2 legs. So I'm going to get my push-pull tool and push it away to get rid of it. Okay? I'm going to need to do the same. Okay, I'm going to use my orbit tool to orbit in on the front. It's very important that these shapes get drawn on this side. Okay, so I've got my rectangle tool. I'm going to find a spot that's about right. Click and drag down. Okay, again, subtraction technique. I'm taking away the parts I don't need. Right? And now you can see we have the basics of our chair. Right? We could adapt it. Maybe this leg is a little bit too wide. I can push it in a little bit. Okay, that looks a bit better. All right, now we're going to be a little bit fancy with this one. Okay, I don't like a square back here, so I'd walk into it and bang my elbow. So I'm going to use the curve tool. I'm going to use the arc tool rather to make this a curve on the top. So to find our extra tools that we don't see here, 3 dots at the bottom. You can see we got lots of tools. Now there's tons of arc tools. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, loads of them. Right now, the one that I like the best is this 2-point arc. I think that this is the easiest one to use, and that's the one I'm going to use. I'm going to go 2-point arc. I'm going to start on one side. I'm going to click, move across the other side. You can see it starting to look like what an arc's going to look like, and click on the opposite side. So I've clicked to start, click to end, and now when I move my mouse up or down, you can see I can start to draw my arc. So I'm going to come up. Now here's a tip. If you don't touch the top, you only have one shape to get rid of. So I like to not touch the top. If you want to be very particular, you can zoom right in and you can get a bit closer and detailed. So I'm going to go about there. And now you can see when I grab my push-pull tool,